Gurubhyo Namah. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, Sloka 27. Prashantamanasam hyenam yoginam sukhamuttamam upaiti shantarajasam brahmabhutamakalmasham. The one who has a mind which is highest peaceful, this one yogi whose rajoguna is subsided, sinless, and becomes that Brahman itself, will attain the most auspicious happiness for sure. This level that the yogi is in cannot be explained through any words. The absolute peace or the prashanti is attained by yogi. There one cannot see the states of anger, desire, hatred, or anything related at all. One will be completely submerged in Supreme there. That yogi will become that consciousness itself. There, distinctions in any manner do not exist. The most auspicious happiness can be seen in that state, when one will be able to move in the Atman, realizing it to the fullest. The complete joy and happiness in it can be attained. For the one who reaches that level of consciousness, for him the Rajoguna, the one which brings the level of attachments, will subside. All that will get replaced with that Supreme itself. That mind will be completely filled with the Ananda of the Supreme. In the level of Paramananda, that yogi will be reaching and existing. Sloka 28. Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi vigada kalmasha sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukhamashnute. Likewise, who always makes this Atman attached in this manner becomes sinless, that yogi will experience and reach the ultimate happiness and joy which touches the truth of Brahman. One who gets the true knowledge, he will always try to be in that Atman each and every time. We do not need to do anything to be in that Atman, but for that real understanding or realization that it is all that Atman, to reach towards that level, it can only be generated from within. That real experience should be accomplished for one to elevate towards that level. Until then, people will say this as surprise, will hear it as surpriseful, will see it as surprise. Though we say it in this way, to reach that condition is not easy. The complete sacrifice and self-exploration with pure innocence and patience should be there. All the time when one was seeking for that truth, when at one moment when it gets truly revealed, at that moment how the same will be experienced is depicted here. In the context of the Dhyana Yoga, the same is explained. Sloka 29. Sarva bhutastamatmanam sarva bhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshana. The one which can be seen as same everywhere with the Atman of Yoga Yukta sees the Atman as existing in all the bhutas, and all the bhuta is seen existing in Atman. The Atman is existing everywhere, and all that is existing is Atman alone. This truth should be realized, not just said or heard. All the life that exists is that Atman. Other than Atman, nothing exists. This understanding is being said here. Whenever we deviate from this realization, all the hindrance will be coming towards us while moving in the path of the Supreme. The truth of Atman, to get it in the manner in which it must be known, is a path that requires complete surrender of the self. That attachment that we are keeping, that desire that we possess, that condition of pride that we hold, Everything needs to be eliminated to visualize and experience this reality of Atman. Once one gets into that kind of a realization, one will be free from the state of fear, anger, or anything related. That complete independence can be seen and can be achieved while moving in that manner. Real independence happens not when we become free. When in each and everything that we do, if we are able to do it with absolute freeness, without others getting affected in any manner, without making any distraction or challenges to the path of others towards the Supreme, if we were able to move, that is the state of real independence. Sloka 30. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati. Which yogi sees me in everything? In me sees everything. For that yogi, I will not be lost. He will not be lost from me too. When the realization happens, all becomes the same. There will not be any distinctions. That oneness can be seen in everything. Yogi becomes that Supreme. Supreme becomes that yogi. That distinction of I and you will be eliminated, and in place one comes. This is the ultimate level of realization. When we are able to realize that we are one, we become that Supreme itself. If that realization happens, then there will not be any quarrel, fight, hatred, competitions, or anything related at all. We will all be moving in that state of love towards the self. Towards that truth of oneness, we will all get attached. To reach this real understanding, one needs to move through the toughest of the paths. The path became tough as we came far from the same a lot. We were trapped in many of the attachments, hence to come out of it is a tedious task. That is the purpose of this life too. Always, each and every action of ours should be in line with it. Sloka 31. Sarva bhutastidam yo mam bhajatyekattvamastita sarvadha vartamano api sayogi mai vartate. He who sees me existing in every life as the one which is the same, that yogi in whatever ways he is living in me. The yogi who sees that it is all that Supreme, when the realization comes, it becomes that Supreme itself. The distinction between the Supreme and the yogi will not be existing there. The oneness in everything will be realized, and the world and beyond will become one. That existence at the moment will be fulfilled for the yogi. That truth of the Supreme is being told here. When the realization of the Supreme happens, one will be moving in the manner of the upliftment of this entire life force. Each and every action that comes from a yogi will be in the manner of yajna and will be in the manner which elevates the entire life force. Sloka 32. Atmaupamyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna sukham va yadi va dukkham sayogi paramo mata. O Arjuna, the joy and the sorrow in all life force, with the similarity of the Atman in all, one sees it as equal. That yogi is the best, is my opinion. When the realization happens, that yogi elevates towards the Supreme itself. At that stage, the best in the Atman will be seen. When one realizes that the joy and sorrow that happens in all life is happening in that same Atman that is everywhere. When the truth of the self is fully revealed, that state is what everyone is seeking for. Liberation is not the aim. Ultimate or supreme liberation should happen. Overcoming the attachments will not contribute to supreme liberation. To reach towards the path of liberation, the same might contribute. But for one who sees the supreme liberation or the moksha as the ultimate, for him complete surrenderance in Guru is the way. When one goes through the true knowledge put by Guru, stage by stage, one elevates to the level of the Supreme. Sloka 33. Arjuna Uvacha. Yo ayam yogastvaya prokta samyena madhusudana etasya aham na pashyami chanjalatvat sthitim stiram. O Bhagavan Shri Krishna, who keeps the Samabuddhi upfront, this yogam is being told by you. The stable existence of the same cannot be seen by me due to the unstable mind. This reveals the condition that Arjuna is existing at the moment. Even though all these were explained by Bhagavan Shri Krishna, still in Arjuna that condition of dilemma exists. That realization of who Bhagavan Shri Krishna is has not yet happened in Arjuna. That is why it is said in previous explanations too that by hearing or seeing or telling about this reality, one will not be reaching that level. In Arjuna too, that realization should be coming from within. That will only happen when the ignorance within us will subside. For the ignorance to subside, one should realize the true knowledge. If one gets the opportunity to get that true knowledge, that will not make that person realize that level. In Arjuna too, at this moment, the same is seen. The stability in mind is not yet achieved. Still the mind is getting wobbled in Arjuna. More understanding is required for Arjuna. For the ignorance to get eliminated from Arjuna, the attachments that Arjuna is keeping at the moment should be overcome. As previously said too, we are the Arjunas here, which require that transformation. Sloka 34. Chanjalam himana Krishna pramadhi balavadritam tasyaham nigraham manye vayuriva sudushkaram. O Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the mind is of wobbling nature, the one with the character of destruction, and in what it is attached, of the nature of staying in the same. To overcome or eliminate the same, I think, is as much difficult as how one tries to stop the wind. For Arjuna, the mind is playing the act. The mind should not be controlled. If we concentrate on the mind and go behind it, we will be going behind the Maya or illusion. We will not be able to go towards the right path if we are moving behind our minds. Here too, Arjuna finds it difficult to come towards that level which is being put forward by Guru Bhagavan Shri Krishna. More understanding and from within that realization should be happening. Until and unless that complete ignorance within Arjuna gets eliminated, the realization will not be happening. Sloka 35. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Asamshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaundeya vairagyena cha grihyate. Sri Bhagavan told, O Arjuna, who is the strongest? It is of no doubt that the mind is always of wobbling nature and is difficult to prohibit, O Arjuna, but that should be with practice and with detachment can be stabilized. Guru Bhagavan Shri Krishna is towards Arjuna telling how the situation that Arjuna transformed until now can be overcome. Proper detachment from everything should happen. Towards the Supreme, the attachments in all should be detached. That detachment will happen from everything on going through the path of Guru only. For the one who is in the level of the Supreme only will be able to guide us towards that truth. That is the reason why here towards Arjuna, Guru, Bhagavan Shri Krishna was able to put forward the knowledge and what needs to be done in the same manner it is explained now. Shloka 36. Asamyatatmana yogo dushprapayiti me mati vashyatmana tu yatata shakyo avaptumupayata. The one who doesn't win over the mind, yogam will not be achieved simply, stays my opinion. But the one who was able to get the mind in one's own possession, if tried in the right way, can achieve the yogam. The mind and its level needs to be understood clearly. The discussion is not about the hard kind of practices that one needs to adopt to get the understanding. The truth of the various levels of mind needs to be understood. The one who is able to understand clearly that it is the play of mind which happens, which deviates us from our real path, then acts on it in the way required, that one is moving in the correct track. Further discussion on the same will be continued.